Today is Monday, March the 23rd, 2026. My name is Tom, and this is your ReadyCore Daily Brief. On today's show, if your only option fails, you were never secure to begin with. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, let's get you up to speed with the latest from the RISAT team and the Daily Sit Rep.
This is your AmCon Daily Sit Rep for March the 23rd, 2026. Up first today, a record-breaking heat wave is impacting the western United States with extreme temperatures driven by a persistent high-pressure ridge. Heat warnings have been issued for states including California, Arizona, and Nevada. The situation is exacerbated by a low snowpack level, threatening water supplies from key reservoirs, such as the Colorado River. The heat wave raises the risk of heat-related illnesses, water shortages, wildfires, and unhealthy air quality due to smoke and ozone. Residents are advised to stay hydrated, monitor warnings, conserve water, prepare evacuation plans, and secure property against fire risk. In other news, the FBI has confirmed it is purchasing commercially available internet location data from brokers to track illegal immigrants and other threats, raising Fourth Amendment concerns. This practice was previously denied by former leadership. While considered legally permissible under the Electronic Communications Privacy Act, privacy advocates warn of erosion in privacy rights and civil liberties. The public is encouraged to review privacy settings, use VPNs, and engage with legislators to advocate for stronger protections. Turning to transportation, airport delays across the United States are expected to worsen as the partial government shutdown stretches into its 35th day, with many TSA officers remaining unpaid and absent. Long security lines of 3 to 4 hours are anticipated at major airports, with increased tension among travelers. Passengers are advised to check flight schedules carefully and allow extra time for security screening while employing de-escalation techniques if conflicts arise. Also today, the FBI and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency warned that Russian hackers have compromised thousands of signal messaging accounts worldwide. Attackers use phishing and social engineering to gain access by posing as support and tricking users into sharing verification codes. Users are urged not to click on suspicious links or share verification codes and to report any compromises immediately. Finally, there is heightened protest and civil unrest nationwide, including increased activity in large cities involving anti-ICE and anti-war demonstrations. Members and residents are reminded to remain alert, maintain situational awareness, be aware of exits at public events, and report suspicious activity to local authorities and the RISAT team when safe to do so. Today's weather summary highlights ongoing extreme heat across the western and central U.S., with record high temperatures forecast in California, the Southwest, and the Central Plains. Severe thunderstorms are expected in the Midwest on Thursday. Residents should prepare for heat hazards and monitor local weather alerts for safety. Looking ahead, several ReadyCore events are scheduled over the next month, including regional campouts and training gatherings in Alabama, Virginia, Florida, and Illinois, offering opportunities for fellowship and preparedness training. Members can access the American Contingency Members Only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
Well, it's that time of year. The storm rolled through sometime around 2 in the morning. It wasn't historic, it wasn't catastrophic, just a solid spring line of thunderstorms with heavy wind and a lot of lightning. By sunrise, the Johnson house was dark and quiet, and in a way that felt unnatural, honestly. Ryan woke up first. No hum of the refrigerator, no air handler cycling, no router lights blinking in the hallway, just stillness. He reached for the flashlight on his nightstand, the one that always lives there. Click, nothing. Clicked it again. By the way, why do we do that? Why do we click it twice? We already know it's dead. Still nothing. Dead battery. It wasn't a crisis, it was just inconvenience. But inconvenience has a way of revealing structural weakness. He grabbed his phone. 32% battery, weak cell signal. The Wi-Fi was out, of course. The primary charger was plugged into the wall, which currently wasn't doing anything. In less than 60 seconds, the household had already discovered 3 assumptions they didn't realize they were making. This week's word of the week is redundancy. Redundancy is not excess. It's not hoarding. It's not buying 2 of everything because it feels safer. Redundancy is the deliberate removal of single points of failure. A single point of failure is any component in your system that, if it stops working, leaves you without options. That bedside flashlight wasn't a problem when it worked. The router wasn't a problem as long as the grid's up. The single charger wasn't a problem when the power was reliable. The problem wasn't that something had failed. The problem was that there was no immediate second layer. In health and medical preparedness, single points of failure are rarely dramatic. They're subtle. One thermometer, one blood pressure cuff, one bottle of fever meds, one person who knows where the supplies are kept, one way to call for help. When that one option works, man, everything feels great. But when it doesn't, stress will spike disproportionately to the size of the failure. Redundancy is what lowers that stress because it removes fragility. If the flashlight fails, there's another light source. If the phone battery dies, another charger is available. If the primary caregiver is unavailable, another adult knows dosages, procedures, etc. Notice what this does psychologically. Instead of scrambling, you just transition. Instead of improvising under pressure, you just move on to the next layer. Prepared families do not eliminate storms. You can't do that. They eliminate cascades. The Johnson family didn't panic this morning. Ryan walked to the hall closet, retrieved the battery lantern that he stored there, set it on the kitchen table. Emily pulled out the small power bank from the drawer by the refrigerator, and within minutes the house was at least functional again. Nothing dramatic, and, that's the point. Redundancy exists so that nothing dramatic has to happen. So today I want you to identify 3 single points of failure inside your home or systems, particularly in medical or emergency response areas. If that one thing stopped working tonight, what would your second option be? All right, tomorrow we'll look specifically at medical redundancy and why it involves more than just extra supplies. Thanks as always for listening to the ReadyCore Daily Brief. If you're already a member, you're awesome. Make sure to check out today's resources on our members-only platform. And if you're not a member yet, you're awesome too. You just need to head over to ReadyCore.net to join the network so you can start building your resilience today. I'm Tom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.